Hey everyone, this is Michael Chuah.
Yo, I'm 𝙒𝙊𝙇𝙊𝙄.
Welcome back again to another episode of My Artist Story. Okay.
Yeah.
Today we will have one guest. So we
We're
don't
doing
have to
back-to-back recording. Still same clothes. We just went out for lunch and come back for a second round.
Yeah.
Because our friends from Philippines are here for a few more days after Cebu Toy Fest. So
Correct.
we exploit them to the maximum and keep them and use them all the way for content.
Yeah.
No wonder the food is free, huh?
Free.
Okay,
Now you know
There's
why.
always price or something.
Okay, now I understand. Okay.
Later you need to sweep the floor and
Okay, let's welcome.
this is Guibs.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Hello.
And then
Good afternoon, everyone.
yeah, you introduce yourself lah. Like your entire your what is that called? Your portfolio of
Yeah.
your other.
Wow. So the 3 hours we will just let you.
Yeah. From now onwards, me and Michael will keep quiet, and then Gibbs will do all the talking, and maybe there will be another 1 hour for singing also.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
We'll
So
go
Gibbs,
by request.
welcome to our new My Artist Story.
Okay.
Introduce yourself.
So, hello. My name is Guibs. I'm an artist from the Philippines. I used to be from Manila. Now I'm based in Cebu. I'm also the organizer, or maybe you could call it a curator of Designer and Art Toys PH, or what you can call DNA Toys PH. And I'm also the owner of Neue Design Store in Cebu, where it is home to different art toys, toy artists, both local and foreign, independent and commercial. So
And what else?
I've started with art toys as a collector. I started as a collector way back.
Most of us like that.
Yeah.
Like back in what year?
Well, as far as I remember, probably around 2011 or 2012. As far as I remember.
Still like a mid of the designer toy era.
Yeah, a lot of the brands that were popular at that time were Toy 2R, Kid
Okay.
Robot. So a lot of the toys that I was buying at the time, or at least my main source at the time, was Secret Fresh. So
Secret Fresh.
a lot of you might still be familiar with Secret Fresh. So shout out to Big Boy and the whole Secret Fresh crew.
Are they the
And
first store that carries like designer toys for that time?
I can't really say if it's the first, but I do remember another store named 𝘾𝙍𝙀𝙊𝙇𝙊𝙒. So don't take my word as something historical or anything, but this is just based on what I was exposed to at that time. So at the time, 𝘾𝙍𝙀𝙊𝙇𝙊𝙒 had a lot of Toy 2R. So they had the key, the blind box key, and then they also had David Horvath stuff like the Bossy Bear. And then together with the time, I was also interested in Kid Robot stuff in Secret Fresh. So apart from the now ever so popular Dunnies, what I was actually interested in at the time was Fat Caps. So that's the first
Wow.
thing. That's the first thing I actually bought
Flat Caps,
ever.
okay.
This one straight drag us back to the timeline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a boom. So yeah, so to this day, I'm still hunting a couple of Fat Caps whenever I can, either online or through trades from different
Currently, it's
friends.
like a rare item.
Yes,
Oh, so
but
like-
in Cebu now, me being in Cebu now, I feel like I've traveled back in time, wherein I'm trying to reintroduce these brands to a entirely different audience, and it's not as if they're not aware, but rather them having an entirely new era of access to these things. As before, there isn't any store quite like mine in Cebu right now. So if ever they were interested in art toys back then, it's either they have to go to Manila or probably order it online, or when they travel around, maybe the time, if not US, of course, where Kid Robot is from, probably Hong Kong, where arguably where people consider the birth of art
Designer
toys, or
toys,
designer
yes.
toys is
Yeah.
from Michael Lau in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how I started out as a collector, and being a fine arts graduate myself and an art director by profession, I'm very much interested in making my own art toys as well. But I didn't really start designing them not until around 2016.
Oh,
So 2016, I knew a lot of people in the industry like Quicks, but I wasn't the one to create art toys myself. I was more of a fan and a person who appreciates these things. So coming from collecting commercial toys, I was starting to meet local artists who actually made independent toys themselves. So at the time, Martian Toys, whom I know, is the one who produced Tech 63 at that
the
time.
vinyl version.
Yeah, the vinyl version. So they had a contest. So looking up to that platform of Tech 63, Martian Toys put up a contest named the Next Great Blank. So at the time, I tried to join that contest. The design I submitted at that time was already Kantoy. So it was a modular design idea. And if you're familiar with the design of Kantoy, the earliest version, it was more or less flat. Excuse me. Flat in the sense that coming from my influences with Toy2R and Kid Robot, in my head, if it was going to be a blank toy eventually,
like a platform toy.
yeah, like
so
a platform
people can
toy,
customize on it.
it should be simple enough that people could still play around with it, and at the same time distinct enough to have a particular shape or like characteristic that's
Yes.
still appealing.
Yes.
So in my head at the time, I thought that what better idea to represent our local culture than street food. So in my head, it's genuine to our local culture, but at the same time, with the mindset of it being a blank toy, it might be relatable to other cultures as well. So I submitted that design. It's somewhat close to this, but much simpler in details. So it had the holes on the side. So if you had a lot, you could connect them together, and it had like a sauce on top, where you could like flip it around. So it's kind of like its hairstyle. So it depends on what type of.
So what is
personality.
Kantoy inspired from?
Okay, so Kantoy as a word is a term I coined. It is an amalgamation of two words. Filipino word kanto, meaning the curbside or like the corner of the road, and then of course toy being laruan or like toys.
It's a toy.
So in my head, I wanted to play on a concept wherein it's distinctly Filipino and at the same time relatable to not only our own culture but to other cultures as well. So I coined that term kanto as like a toy line, and then I played around with different names of the characters that are also in a way not really poking fun, but like referencing certain details in our culture that again might be relatable to others as well. So going back to that contest, I joined it. I was a finalist. I can't remember top 10 or something, but essentially I lost. Gary Ham won that contest.
Oh, Gary Ham.
Gary Ham. I was like, okay. I felt
Okay.
he was already I would consider professional at that time. But I was like, well, if it was Gary Ham, then it's Gary Ham. So at the time, I didn't. So it goes as far as early as 2016, but I didn't really make toys until 2021 since. At the time, I felt like I didn't have the resources to produce my own toy yet. So I parked it as a project and focused more on helping the community or community building through ToyCon Philippines, working with ToyCon Philippines, and eventually forming Toy Art PH, which is now DNA Toys Philippines. So it is formerly Toy Art PH. So yeah. That's like a shortened version, I guess.
Shorter. So speaking of Kantoy, right? So basically Kantoy is the first thing. I don't know Guibs in person, not until last year in Pop Toy Show
That was in 2023, I think.
2020.
So
Oh yeah, the very
first,
first one,
yeah.
2023. So 2 years ago. So I noticed because like we run My Toy Hot, right? It's like always scrolling social media and things like that. So the funny part is when I noticed Kantoy, the character and the name, is actually the name of our mascot.
Oh, really?
So,
I didn't know this.
so basically, right? So like what you explained, why your name is you name it Kantoy because of combining 2 words and things like that. So for the dragon on the dragon mascot of My Toy Hot,
My Toy Hot, yes.
it's called Kantoy because Kantoy in bahasa in Malay language, Kantoi, is like you get caught red-handed. So usually, like what we say, because basically the entire the whole community of My Toy Hot is to like, we always say we like to poison others to buy more toys, to hoard more toys, right? And then usually when we buy toys, we want to hide from our partner. So if you get caught red-handed, it's like, oh, Kantoy lah.
That's an
So that's how
interesting
we
tidbit.
So that time when I saw these things, like, oh, same name with our mascot, but okay, but it's totally different thing. And this guy is from Philippines. Then I'm like, okay, this
Caught your
artist is from
attention.
Philippines. Yeah. But of course, I shared the word, and then someone actually commented below, like our Malaysian member is like, oh, same name with our the mascot.
The mascot, yes.
But fast forward, of course, pandemic happened, things like that.
Yeah.
Then BTS Pop Toy Show 2023.
Yeah. PTS 2023.
Like just now on previous episode, we were talking about with Clarice, like basically their booth is right in front of us. But we didn't really. I only managed to meet few of them because this guy is not around most of the time.
Where
What do you mean?
He was at one point he was walking around and
so,
then he was on stage to do the sharing session.
Yeah.
Then I only meet him in person one day after Pop Toy Show at Ozo.
Yeah.
we just so happened to went there and then
Not during the event.
not during the event.
No,
I think
But
maybe
outside.
maybe we brushed shoulders or something like, but we didn't acknowledge each other in
Yes,
person,
yes.
like formally meet each other in person. Not until the next day after Pop Toy Show where we met each other at
He was
Ozo's.
there first.
Yeah, he
Then
was there.
only we
He was
went
there
in.
shopping.
Yeah.
Kantoy, they caught me shopping.
Yes. So it's like he was there and then we start chit chatting. Then only like, oh, so you are the person behind Kantoy, and then only he start to bring out like the community of Philippine toy artists and everyone. They only like connected in person. That's like, wow. So this is the guy behind a lot of things happening. And eventually, of course, last year when me and Michael went to ToyCon Philippines, and Guibs is kind enough to host us also for after party and bring us for good food.
Yeah, then only I realized Philippines very good in singing. Most of them.
I think all of them.
All of them. I would say all of them, okay?
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
Very good in singing. I'm like,
All
we are
of
kind
them.
of surprised.
Yeah. It's like automatically they can just sing.
Yeah. Even without mics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is like a short how I connected with Guibs in person. Then I think we'll leave it up. You can continue
It's funny that you mentioned that because literally during Pop Toy Show, I think they intended it to have one whole row that's all Malaysian artists.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
one whole row that's
It's
Filipino
Filipinos,
artists.
yeah.
It's like it's like battle of these
Yeah,
two.
it's like, oh, Malaysia versus Philippines. Throwdown. What do you mean? So, to be honest, that whole lane wasn't actually under, at the time, Toy Art PH. There were a couple of other artists that were going independent, but PTS was nice enough to
put together, right?
put us all together, in which I think was our preference as well.
But at that time, you know each of them.
Yes, we already know each other at that time. So, if I remember right, Clarice was there in her
Clarice
on her own.
directly opposite me, and the other far corner is I think
Crayon and Arman.
Yeah,
Yes,
correct.
And then in between, that was us. It was mostly us.
Yeah.
So we were actually we didn't have. I guess we were too focused on trying to like sell our stuff or
Yeah,
connect
yeah.
with connect with the audience that we didn't really have a good opportunity to connect with other artists, at least at that time. But we would notice that whenever and it was very it was like a vivid memory of mine wherein I saw that there's a big banner that says Malaysian Art Toy Showcase, in which it meant like how I wish that we could all be this, like have a united like collective or whatsoever. Because I remember whenever any of you had a sale, someone would like ring a bell.
Yeah.
And everyone would cheer. So I was like, yeah, maybe that's something to look forward to down the line. Because
Like we are the
that was
noisy one.
that was the first time we were actually doing that, like going to an international convention and trying to tag along as much artists as we can, and then pitch in on whatever cost that we needed to put up just to be able to attend that international convention. And it was PopMart at that, and we all know that during that time PopMart was just slowly
Going up. Yeah.
And then funny that you mentioned Ozo, because I was alone at the time. Other people were busy with some stuff, and little old me was looking for fat caps, fat caps and dunnies. And it was funny that Mike Ozo mentioned to me like, "Oh, people still buy this." I'm like, "Yes, people like me." So every time I'm in SG, I'm actually I always see to it that I drop by a store, and maybe whenever he sees me, he's looking forward to like, this is the kid robot buyer, the only kid robot buyer.
Helping him to clear the old stocks.
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes it would be nice enough to like, you know what, just bring everything.
I remember he like one whole set of display, right?
Yeah, he I
you?
feel like those were some older stocks of his that he felt like he couldn't really push anymore. But he was telling me, since I was opening a store, maybe you could do something about this in your own time and maybe pay it forward. I was like, yeah, definitely. That's one of the main reasons why I do that in the first place. Because I'd pick a few for myself, the ones that I still don't have. But the others, I'd be like, yeah, other people might be really interested in this. So, and one of the reasons that really caught my attention was that I found a similarity to what Edward was doing in what I was doing. So I was like, okay, so at least there's someone else that's doing the same thing, and I would have, and the way I thought about it at the time, that was there was someone who was more experienced in this than I am. So at least I could talk to someone in terms of like, how do you guys do it, like attending all these other conventions? Because I was still looking forward to like improving how to handle it, how to organize it, how to manage it, etc. Of course, dealing with a lot of different artists, different egos, different styles.
We have those. I mean, we face those challenges as well when in terms of
yeah,
like,
people come and go as well.
everyone have their own ideas when how they want to display, how they want to showcase their stuff.
Exactly.
Even we have like let's say a banner to have all the characters. Some will like it this way, some will like it the other way. Of course, we at the end of the day some will compromise to make things happen.
Yeah.
But of course, there's a lot of back and forth in between.
Correct. So I guess that just really like launched a lot of things for us moving forward. So after that, we kind of look forward to like, all right, we're seeing the Malaysians in this convention. At least we know that we have friends over in that convention, and that, you know, sometimes it's just beyond selling toys, like catching up and like hanging out, having all these dinners and joking around and all that stuff, and of course shopping on the side with whatever we can. So yeah, so now we're at fast forward to 2025, Super Toy Fest in Malaysia. So this is like our third or fourth venture into like an international convention.
But previously, you guys visited Singapore. Where else?
So
Is
the
there any
first
place?
one was Singapore for PTS, and then the year after, a friend of mine who was actually more of a painter. His name is 𝘎𝙍𝙍𝙇𝙊𝙍. Shout out 𝘎𝙍𝙍𝙍. So he was more of a painter, and he was applying for Mango Arts Festival in Thailand. He was applying for Mango Arts Festival in Thailand, and he was able to. His application got in, and he felt that it was a space too big for him to handle alone. So since he saw that we were doing all these things, going to like different conventions, he reached out to me and said, "Would you guys like to go with me to Thailand? My booth is already approved. This is the cost. So he'll shoulder the half, and the other half will be shouldered by us." So I told him, for this to work, there has to be some sort of connection between us. Otherwise, it wouldn't be like a harmonious display of like randomly having paintings and toys. So I told him, for this to be kind of like a partnership, I encouraged him to make a toy of his own. So if you know his work, he likes to put in a bit of tongue-in-cheek humor into his work. So he ended up making like an Oscar-like statue
Award, right?
Yeah,
the
with the L on his head. So yeah, that did pretty well. But I guess joining that convention, or not really convention, more like an art festival type art fair, was quite different than what we're used to, like a ToyCon Philippines or PTS. So again, it was like a learning experience for us. Like in our heads, like maybe we were disrupting the usual offering there, within would have a different array of styles and like scale in terms of toys. But yeah, I guess we learned that different events have different markets and audiences. So even if some of us did fairly well, like there's still a lot of things that we could improve on. So after Mango Arts Festival in BKK, we had another round of PTS in Singapore, and then
last year.
Last February we were
In Jakarta.
And then this one was the next one was Malaysia.
Yeah.
And then another one in PTS this coming August. There are a lot of different. So since we've tried all these other, we've been going to Singapore. We're looking forward to trying different places as well, like maybe Taiwan or a different event in Thailand. So that's how things are going in terms of like looking for different events to attend to besides the one in ToyCon Philippines. And of course, for me personally, I'd love to organize my own as well in Cebu eventually. Hopefully soon.
Okay, Cebu, you mentioned about you plan to do something at Cebu. I think almost same like Malaysia is like there's always event happening in Kuala Lumpur, but not other places. I think for Philippines also, like usually everything happen in Manila.
Yes.
And your store is in Cebu, like first of its kind that really introduced this kind of culture in terms of pop culture, art toys to the community. So what's the, other than that, like now you have this big idea to have something in Cebu?
Well, since you've mentioned it, like how we compare it to Kuala Lumpur and Manila as being contemporaries, and all major events and happenings are within that city. When I was based in Manila, of course, we had the privilege of experiencing all these things. But now that I'm based in Cebu, I'm starting to understand how certain things are only accessible to people in Manila, and like the people of Visayas and Mindanao, who are just as equally as interested and curious about these things, to not have easier access. Of course, if they would want to, they'd have to travel all the way to Manila, but that's a lot of cost, like airfare, and then overall cost of living, and then that's spending all of those things without even stepping foot inside the convention at all. So I feel like if it was costly for collectors in Manila to get into this, what more for other people in Bispin? So in my head, now that I'm based in Cebu, I would love um, to mount or like organize a major event in Cebu wherein it is more accessible to other Filipinos who are in Visayas and Mindanao. So Cebu is strategically positioned in central Visayas, or like right smack in the middle of the Philippines. So neighboring provinces in Visayas and in Mindanao could easily go to Cebu through different forms of transport. Like they could ride the Roro. It's like a roll-on, roll-off barge. So they could ride the bus and then get on the barge. The bus will get on the barge and then get off in Cebu. Of course, you could take a flight. It's a shorter flight. It's a cheaper flight. They also ride the fast craft or like the boat. So there are all these options that will make it accessible for them. And at the same time, overall living cost in Cebu is not as expensive as it is in Manila. I guess the challenge really, at least for me, coming into Cebu is that getting the market ready for what this whole thing really is. And what I mean by that is, of course, the interest level will always be high and there will always be curious people about it. But at the end of the day, if people are not ready or willing to buy or support or to purchase, then it's not a sustainable thing for all of us, really. So coming from Manila on the organizing end with ToyCon, and then eventually Toy Art PH, and then with Toy Art PH having pocket events and like group exhibitions. And during the pandemic, we were able to host certain online shows, interviewing different artists, having certain talks. So after all that experience coming from Manila, I felt like in my head, I kind of knew what was necessary for Cebu to kind of reach that level of where Manila is now. So in my head, number one, there needs to be a venue. There needs to be a place where people can converge and converse and see these things, experience these things, and ask each other, ask me, ask other people who are knowledgeable, so that their curiosity will be, they could scratch their itch, so to speak.
Yes.
So that's why I put up the store, Neue Design Store. So it's not only a toy store, it's more of a concept store, select store, kind of like a MoMA design store, wherein I have prints, olfactory, clothing, and art toys. Prints, of course, I carry MAS there, so it's a good opportunity for me to introduce other artists other than Filipino artists. But I also take pride in introducing the magazine having Filipino artists in them, like Quicks and Clarice. So it always gives them a sense of pride, wherein on an international platform, there's actually a Filipino that's there who is competitive enough to be presentable with other artists as well. So it's a big risk for me, but at the same time, I wouldn't really go into it without having any insight. So prior to that, in the many years that I've been in and out of Cebu, I've seen Quicks do a few events there with Lab Monkeys.
Yes.
So shout out Quicks, Lab Monkeys. So I've seen how the audience, how the people of Cebu reciprocated to these two artists alone. And I do know that a lot of them are just hiding in the shadows, waiting for someone to spearhead something, because they're not one to do it themselves.
Yeah, it's
I
always
remember-
waiting.
Yeah, so I remember telling my wife, by the time that I transfer to Cebu, if no one will champion this, then I will.
You will do.
If no one will do it, then I'll probably do it myself. So I put up the store. It has been open since late September of last year. And so far, in that short of a time, I was already able to curate a group show wherein like roughly 80 to 90% of that artist lineup I didn't know months before that show. So it only shows that providing a platform will only bring in more people with the same interest, because it wasn't exactly me who brought all those artists in, but the artists that I knew were suggesting me more arts, like, oh, this artist is interested in joining the show, or like this artist saw our show this year, maybe he was asking maybe he could join the year after, and all these things.
Like bringing everyone's together.
Yeah,
everything.
bringing one. So
Other than collectors, sometimes artists also waiting for a place or a platform to showcase their works, right? It's not everyone get to, like you say, not everyone get able to go all the way to Manila to attend or get a booth there.
Correct.
Then now you are doing something in Cebu that is like, oh, finally they have a chance to showcase.
Yeah, exactly. Because other than, like I mentioned earlier, other than commercial toys like Kid Robot or probably Medicom and their Bear Bricks, the store is also home to different artists and their independently produced works, like Dudu is there.
Yeah.
Soon enough, Clarice will also be there. Quicks is obviously there already. And then Lab Monkeys, it's kind of like his home court. He could just, since he's our knight in shining armor in Cebu, he can just put his toys there anytime he wants. He's our poster boy over there. So that's I guess that's just the first step, because it brings together both artists and collectors alike. And then I guess the next step would really be providing an online community platform wherein it is not really to say exclusive, but I guess to start, I wanted it to be more Visayas Mindanao centric, so that people will get to know each other that's within their proximity. Because for me, there's no point in trying to mix Manila people there, because they won't meet anyway. There's a slight chance. But maybe eventually it's on a wider, like with a wider opportunity. Maybe that will be the event eventually. But that's the next step, doing an online community, and then do pocket events in the store, which will help me introduce different artists and their works while I'm at it, preparing for a much more bigger event in the future. So hopefully by then, when I am able to mount that bigger show, I'm not talking about like a big convention, but something to start with, good scale, something like 5 Points Festival or something like Super Toy Fest, wherein it's a good number of a mix of local and foreign artists, so that by that time, hopefully a lot of them will be familiar. Oh, I think I remember seeing this toy or this work in the store, etc. And there are a few items in my store that are unfortunately not for sale, but I intentionally display them because it's my way.
Just to make people, just lure them into your shop and then stare at it.
But I guess you could say that. But my take on it is that I'm trying to gauge what the people of Cebu are interested with, and I put my collection there just so that I could get a grasp on what type of toys they're interested in. So sometimes I feel bad when they ask, is this for sale? And I would say no, it's from my personal collection. But I do reassure them that if ever I see one down the line, or if it's an artist that I know personally, I can guarantee them that at some point I can bring their work in. Yeah, so at least I could contribute in that way for the artist, and at the same time introduce a different or new artist to the community, because there's a lot of different stores that already try to sell PopMart
blind box, right?
Blind boxes. I do have my own fair share of blind boxes. It's just that when people come in my store, of course, that's what they're familiar with. They ask, "Do you have Labubus?" And I smile and I say, "No."
Next door, please.
I don't have Labubus. I don't have Hironos. Those are like the top 2 searches in my store. But I do tell them that you can find these things at another local store, which is also a friend of mine. But is more focused on blind boxes in general. So the way I see it is that I'm not trying to compete with them, but rather I'd like to work with them because after all, at the end of the day, this is one common interest for all of us.
Yeah, true.
But while they're there, if I'd like to interest them with
Something
other things
else, right?
beyond PopMart, and whenever and I purposefully display the toys inside the store wherein it's a mix of local and foreign and independent and commercial, because I really want to put it side by side just to say that all these things are just as great and as at par as the ones you are familiar with. And I guess it's only challenging for me to explain to them the difference in price range and all that, but it comes with me educating them and them having a grown appreciation and understanding the different value of it down the line.
So you just plant a seed into them,
Yeah, exactly.
let it grow, and
Yes.
then eventually when you are organizing an event in the future,
Correct.
the tree is already with fruits, then they will come back.
Correct.
Yeah.
Because it always interests them when they find out that, oh, this is a local artist. Because a lot of them probably aren't aware that like in today's day and age and with the available technology and resources, we can actually produce something that is as equally as good quality as the ones that are produced outside.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just a matter of being aware and having the knowledge about it. So yeah.
So it's like you also like you're just trying, even besides group show, I realized a few months back you also brought in crayon to your store to do a live painting and things
Yeah.
like that to
Like
start
a store
to,
takeover. Yeah.
to how to say, to just to create
More activities.
more activities.
More interact
Yeah.
with the audience, things like that.
So
Well, you're asking like how it went or like what was the purpose behind it or
yeah, I think like of course, once a while it's like consistently once a while you need to have some activities to draw more attention, right?
yes.
So everyone can actually gather.
Correct.
To meet each other, and then
I mean, you
It
also
helps to-
using the space for more purpose rather than just a retail shop.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. Because it's I think it's all of our it's a common experience for all of us as collectors and as artists as well. It's really a different experience when you actually meet the artist. I mean, I could talk all day about Crayon's work in the store, but it's best if the artist
He's there.
himself,
Yeah,
if the
yeah,
artist
yeah.
himself tells the story of all these chickens being his dog. So they start asking questions. I could tell that as a tidbit of trivia, but at the end of the day, he is the best person to tell the story about Chicken, the dog. You know what I mean?
Like those who don't know, like right now we can tell you the story why is a crayon chicken, or his character is chicken. And his brand is like Chicken Head, but actually inspired from a dog. So for you to find out why, you know, in the future, if you meet him in person or if we bring him into our podcast in the future, then you know the reason in the future. lah.
I guess that whole thing that happened with Crayon as an event is a proof of concept of what the store can offer other artists as well. As much as it helped the store become more, it helped the people be more aware about the store because of Crayon. At the same time, on my end, I'm giving him a platform in an entirely new market and audience in Cebu. So at least he was able to play around with certain things that he hasn't done before, like a live painting session. And then we had the collaboration with him. I designed the colorway that was anchored on the brand image of the store with his toy. So it's something that, you know, if other artists are interested, they can use the store as a platform wherein we can collaborate and they could do a proper store takeover, and we could it's literally like a playground. So for example, this coming weekend, a couple of graffiti artists are taking over the store, wherein they will have their some of their works and paintings, and then some art toys as well, while they're having a graffiti jam outside on certain panels. And previous to that, there will also be another local artist who will be launching his, not really launching, but like be showcasing his clothing brand in store, because originally his studio is at the provincial side of Cebu. So in terms of access, even though people would want to go to his gallery and his store, it would be hard for them to access it. So my store provides that access to those people who are within the proximity of Cebu City. So all these things, all these micro events happening in the store really just provides more opportunities for different artists to, you know, be creative in what they can execute. Because to be honest, even if we're in the time and age of the internet, one can argue that it's easier to sell online. Just have to post it and find your market or your audience. But I beg to differ, since, you know, I love to shop, I love to buy and collect.
Physically see the thing, touch it,
touch it, ask questions about it, and then possibly see something else that you didn't know existed. Like accidentally discover something that you might be interested in down the line. So all these things. So not all can have the opportunity to have their own brick and mortar. So I'd like to explore that opportunity with everyone else, whoever is willing to, like, you know, if you don't have a space, this is our space. That's why I provided this space for all of us, not just for myself, but for all those who are willing to work and who are willing and interested to be in that space with the rest of the community.
Cool. Is it hard for you to like handle so many things?
Yes. It's
like
hard.
You have your own toys, and you have to handle your space, and then you want to build even a bigger community.
Correct.
Yeah. How you manage that? How you manage that? We all have the same vision that we want
have
to.
a lot of
I get you.
a lot of shoes to fill at the same time, and then everything running together at the same time.
Yeah.
That's why you buy more shoes. Just kidding. No. Yes. To answer your question, yes, it is hard, but to argue is nothing is ever really easy to begin with.
Yeah.
So since we're doing it the hard way anyway, let's try to work on what we actually like and work towards where we want to bring it. In my case, there's this one idol of mine, from a professor of mine from college, and Sir Marlon Rivera. Shout out Sir Marlon Rivera. And in one of his interviews, he's known to be like a multi-hyphenate, like doing a lot of things. I know him as my college professor, and then he's also known as a movie director. He's an advertising executive. He's also a florist and a fashion designer.
Wow.
Sounds like a lot, right? But
It is a lot.
it is a lot. But the way he approached it is that the key to multitasking is not to do things all at the same time. So the way I approach all these things is I try to manage it in a way wherein I try to compartmentalize certain facets of the things that I do. So for today, this is the schedule. Tomorrow, it's like this. The next one is like this. But I guess one of the main reasons why I put together that whole store as a concept store without it strictly being a clothing store or strictly being an art toy store is because I found the way to harmoniously bring together all my creative endeavors in one space, so that I can not only provide a platform for one creative output, but for most, if not all of them, and not only mine but for others as well. So at least the pressure, in a way, there's pressure either way, but at least I don't have to put all the pressure on myself, since I'm also providing opportunities for others to help me out on that endeavor overall.
But like you're currently in Malaysia, you're participating in Super Toy Fest. So is there anyone helping you over there, or
You're close.
It's
Close
closed.
to the store for 1
The
week
store
or
is
something.
closed.
For the most of it, I just decided to close store since I find it that the most of the foot traffic is on the weekends anyway. So I do have someone there who is manning the store for me
Okay. That's cool. That's cool.
on like a Friday and a Saturday.
Because also, I think like you have that full passion on this whole thing, right? Sometimes it's like your charm and then the way you interact with people to tell them stories, that is what attract the customers in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just put someone there to be there, but most probably they just sit behind the counter and then hide. They don't really talk to anyone. Don't even introduce anything, right? It will like backfire your whole intention of having a place to showcase, to grow this community.
But do it yourself. Yeah,
Also
do it
very
yourself
tiring.
also very tiring, and also you're not able to do other stuff.
Do other
as well.
stuff, yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I understand what you guys mean, but I guess the way I see it is that wherever I'm not, I'm working at a different place. So at this time, my compromise is I have someone to substitute for me at the store, meaning it might be a bit of a compromise for me, not being there, being the added value to that whole store. But at the same time, I'm in Malaysia, still doing that work, but with a different network. So the way I see it, eventually all these things will contribute back to that vision overall. Like for example, we were all at Super Toy Fest, and then I reconnected with certain artists, particularly Shin of the Robots and Tofu. And now I have a lot of his stuff in my luggage to bring back to my store.
Yeah.
So that's the way I see it. Like it's a give and take. Ideally, I train someone who can be as dispassionate and could probably like run the store the way I do, but I would still prefer it to be me. But realistically speaking, on some days there can only be one me, except if it's Jackson. Hi, Jackson. so realistically speaking, it's
Jackson is another Malaysia friends that look alike.
from the art toy multiverse.
Yeah.
You need to train Jackson to speak Tagalog
Yeah, man.
and bring him to Cebu for permanently stay in Cebu.
So I can take a break.
But
yeah,
he's not so like not so talkative like you, right?
that's why I need to
You
train.
need
him.
to
You
train
need to
him.
train him, or you transfer
some of your DNA to him.
So yeah, essentially that's it. It's a matter of give and take and compromise. Wherever I am, I'm working, and wherever I'm not, it's I guess the time to rest for that endeavor. And then when I come back, it all contributes to that whole big vision and plan that we have overall.
Okay, we you've been handling so many things, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure that you actually put in a lot of like budget into it. Like where do you come up with all those budget?
The only logical reason is illegal things. No, I'm just kidding. End of podcast. No, so if ever you're in Cebu and you see me in store, you might witness the duality of my life from day to day, in which by profession I am a freelance art director for advertising. So that's what I do. I don't even know if I could call it on the side. Which one is on the side? I guess whichever is
the
active.
storekeeper is on the side.
So that's what's mainly keeping everything afloat. The store, the art toy production. I have 2 clothing brands. My rent for the store and all that. But don't get me wrong, the store earns enough for it to pay rent and earn little to
Like it's
spend
sustainable
things
to
going for
continue.
things to go around.
Yeah.
It's just that at this point it's not as profitable as I want it to be.
Yeah. Quite similar with my gallery as well.
Exactly.
I also face the same.
Yeah. So so the reality is I still need to keep my my freelance job to keep things afloat, because like I said, apart from the toys, I have 2 clothing brands. So all of them have to be pushing forward, but I can't spread myself too thinly for at a time. So that's how I try to manage it. Like I mentioned earlier, like in my head, if June is ToyCon, then June is for toys. And then July is my wife's birthday, so it's for my wife. And then August, sometime so August is for one of the recurring events that we've been going to, which is PTS.
So Singapore.
So I guess August is Singapore. And then in September, apart from it being my birth month, there's another major event in.
Are you hinting us to celebrate with you or something?
No, he just telling us he won't have time for birthday. So yeah, okay. What happened in September?
So what happens in September is, yeah, you're right. You're good. Huh? So what happens in September is another major event in Manila called Purveyor Fair. So shout out to Marvin Conanan and Sarah Conanan for organizing that. So Purveyor Fair is a huge platform wherein it is a celebration of a lot of different local brands, and they have recently expanded to entertain brands that are beyond just clothing. So right now, I joined this event for my 2 clothing brands, one or the other or both, and then eventually I intend to introduce or like integrate our toys into this scene as well, because to some who are into fashion and also collect toys, these are things that are closely knit together. So I'd like to think of it as my brands having kind of like its bare brick to its brand, or like other brands out there that have had their kind of like mascot in the form of toy merchandise. So I'm looking forward to doing that down the line. So that's for September, and then October I finally die and rest. I guess
For a few days.
For now.
For a few days, yes. And now November is starting to look like a store thing wherein I prepare for the anniversary of the store. So that's wink
That's
wink. If you guys want to come over, wink wink. That's probably
the first
at the
year,
time.
right?
First year anniversary. So I'm still trying to cook up on what things I want to do for that celebration. But before I reach that, of course, I have to go through all these other months slowly but surely. So behind all of those things, I'm working in advertising.
No.
So
Before the 1 anniversary, in between like handling all these different event, different month, most importantly is stay alive to do the celebration.
Cue music, Bee Gees. Stay alive. But yeah, like I said, don't spread yourself too thinly. I think I need to follow my own advice. Yeah.
I mean, all of us are having the same thing. Like we will tell people like, oh, you should do this. I think this is the best thing you can do. Like, you know, there's a lot of advice we give out, but most of us we don't follow. we still go through that wall every day.
But I guess that's the beauty of having a tribe or like a community, because it's never really just us. It's us doing many things, but it's us doing many things with other people as well.
Yeah.
Like for DNA Toys PH, I wouldn't really be going to any of these events if it weren't for the interest of the artists to go to these events. Then that gives me the energy and like the motivation to like, all right, even if I'm probably tired to do things myself, at least I know if I'll be working with people who are willing to put the work in together, then by all means, okay, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's fly to Malaysia, let's fly to Singapore. Let's just not fly to heaven too early.
I think it's not easy. Like you carry few brands under your kind of like umbrella. Then you need to flew to other place, and then you need to promote for them. So we've been through that stage as well. Like Carrie's few designer stuff.
We did that last year in ToyCon PH also, just 2 of us, but we have like six artists.
6 artists with you, yeah.
Then we have to know how to introduce their toys, their concept to anyone who was interested.
It's not like just placing the toys on the
and
table
then we
and just let
keep
it.
quiet.
Buy this, it's cute.
Yeah.
Buy this, it's
We need
nice color.
We need to be familiar with each of it. Like
Correct.
what is this version and what is that concept kind of things.
I think that there's one thing I learned from Indonesia side, especially last February when I was in Jakarta. So spend a day with Paulus. So Paulus is always watching, right? Shout out to Paulus.
Shout out to Paulus.
So this is one thing in our conversation throughout the day is like contribute.
Exactly.
No matter what it's like, there's a lot of people like you mentioned. There's maybe artists or collectors. They are always waiting for someone to do something. Even from our side also, like when I started my toy hot, there are people also like, oh, I think you should open a cafe with art toys display. I think you should do this. I think you should. I think you can.
They keep suggesting.
Yeah,
things,
they keep
but
suggesting.
They're not one to do it themselves.
So like, why we do magazine and why we start the podcast also is like it's something within our own strength that we can contribute to the community.
Yep.
And like thankfully with a super event like Cebu Toy Fest, so we have something an event to push the designer toys to the market. Then sort of like everything start to connect to each other.
Correct.
Like artist is doing artist work, then we on ourselves we can do podcast, we do magazine, then organize event, then toy shop selling toys. So everything will slowly come together as a whole.
Like an ecosystem.
Yeah. So yes, contribute.
Yeah.
Stop complaining and stop giving up.
If not because of them, right? Like the whole Malaysia art toys showcase, right? I don't think I would like stay so long in the toy industry. I would just like maybe 1 or 2 shows, then I would just give up. But I enjoy so much with them to go through to visit all the toy show.
A group of people going crazy, doing crazy things together. Like the magazine one is a very very clear, straightforward reason. It's just like I was just randomly thinking like, I think we should have like a book or something to interview ourselves or interview friends. Then in one convention we were just talking about what we do next year. Then we said I told Michael, it's like, I think we should do something like this. Then it's like, then for him it's like, ding. He also have something in his mind. Then he said,
I've been waiting for them to say
because
you've been waiting yourself.
Yeah, I've been waiting.
He's alone. That like previously, my Toy Hot, I did like a monthly YouTube video introducing Malaysia toys every month, but it's on my own. And then towards the day, it's like I record myself talking to the camera, and then after I just edit a bit and then publish, but doesn't get anything.
Yeah.
Because I'm alone. Then eventually, that when it comes to this, I brought up the idea. Then he have the same idea. That's when like, you on? I on.
Psychic.
Okay. So this whole thing, even the podcast also.
Great minds.
Yeah.
After Jakarta, before like towards end of last year, I start to thinking like what else to do beside the magazine. I think podcast is something I'm very interested in because I always listen to podcasts when working.
And I try to do it myself. It's so hard.
So hard because he's alone facing like reading script that he researched on toys.
Yeah.
Then I was like saying like, no, we don't need script. We just sit down and chit chat. And fast forward, we are in like 13 episodes now.
Yeah.
So we just do our parts.
I actually watch the podcast whenever I can during lunch breaks in the store. So I would usually have music in the store. And if you randomly come in at like 12 or 1 p.m., you'd hear 2 Malaysians talking. They're like, hi, let me know if I can help you with anything. I continue to eat and watch the podcast.
Now you can play your own episode.
Like, hi, watch it. It's me. I tell about the store in this episode. But it's interesting you mentioned the magazine, because one would think that print is not anymore relevant in this day and age. But again, I beg to differ. I looking back in college, where all this interest came about with art toys. At the time, the internet is already big as it is today. It's just probably different content at that time. But it was this particular magazine, Juxapose Magazine, wherein I discovered a lot of these artists, and me discovering lowbrow art overall, all these graffiti artists and these graphic artists, and them putting their work on toys, and I'm like, what is this whole thing? And me already collecting toys before that is not art toys, and being artist myself, these two things being put together had a whole level of fascination with me that it just continued on to this day. So yeah, and now speaking about the podcast, like, yeah, let's just say I have a lot of other ideas in my head, but like yourselves, I'm not telling them until someone else is like, yeah, I'm on you with that one. Maybe we should do it. But I'm not one to tell it yet because I'm already have a lot on my plate currently. Yeah.
Is there anyone that telling you you should just focus on your thing, right? Because there's a lot of people like before we did like magazine or podcast, there's a lot of people say you should
just focus on your
art. You shouldn't do so many other style. Even you want to help others, they won't appreciate it. Why bother to do that?
Yeah.
So
there are I would get that advice every now and then. But my advice for them is they should focus on themselves. Just kidding. No,
mind your own business.
But what I'm trying to say is that I understand where they're coming from. It's just that when you're so passionate about certain things, I mean, whoever said that one has to be passionate or like be in focus with just one thing. And the way I see it, and my store is like a proof of concept of all of it, is that there are certain ways that I can harmoniously bring these things together. And for me, that's the store. That's why the store is there. And like I said, multitasking doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do all these things all at the same time. If you find yourself doing a lot of things all together, then maybe you shouldn't do them all together. Do things one thing at a time. And then if one thing is too heavy than the other, then like try to give more focus on that. Like I said, it's a matter of compromise. Like wherever you're at, that's where your focus is. Whatever you left behind, you can come back for it later.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So that is the advice we give to others. If you have any suggestion, keep it to yourself. unless you are ready to contribute.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. Remember us three trying to build communities. We are not working for you.
Yes.
We are trying to work with you.
Yeah,
and everyone
exactly.
else.
I mean, it's a fun thing, especially last Pop Toy show. We gather around with IDS. Indonesia Designer Toys.
Sisig Boys.
Right, the Sisig Boys.
Shout out Sisig
then
Boys.
Then we took a group photo like DNA, MAS and IDS all together. It's like basically it's also like right. We were attending convention as a group of artists from representing our country in a foreign place. Then we get together. It's like we all have the same objective. Like we're building this toy artists, toy designers community to slowly grow it together, and then we get to connect each other at another event in another country. So the experience and the whole thing is very special to us.
Yeah, and then we also like share experience, like what's the obstacle that you found, you encounter, how we can solve it, things like that.
Now that you've mentioned that, I have an idea that I will discuss off camera.
Off camera, yeah. We are not going to tell you.
But
if not, you will tell us what we should do.
Now that you mentioned it, it does kind of make sense.
Yeah, it's like these are the things like we mentioned this many times already. Like extra things that we gain from attending convention in person. Like people from outside, they won't understand. Sometimes it's like, oh, you waste so much money, go there, you don't make a sale or what. But on the other side, we gain something else, probably more meaningful. Of course, monetary wise is another story. It's
true.
Like, demotivating or whatever. But on the other side, there's always a positive take back from attending that event.
Yes.
Which is very important for the community as a whole thing.
that's what I try to keep on reminding people who join. Excuse me. For artists who join us in DNA and whenever we join different conventions or events, is that don't keep like a one track mindset wherein attending these conventions is all just about making sales. Try to make the most out of it. Like connect with different artists. Like whenever I tell them like we're going to a big convention and chances are you'll meet your idols there.
Yes.
But when you get there, you are not fans of your idols. You are on the same level as them because you are artists together.
Yes.
So try to approach them as a colleague. Like introduce yourself, share your appreciation for their work, and at the same time try to look for other opportunities where it can work not only for you but for others as well. And I mean, at the end of the day, if we were all just interested in making money, for sure there are 100 different more ways
to
make money easier than making art toys.
Sell Labubu.
Sell Labubu blind box.
Send to Lisa and then Lisa, please post ass up. Shout out if you're gonna watch this.
We always say like if you want to make money, don't do toys.
Yeah, I mean,
Don't do art.
else. Yeah,
Do
don't do
art.
I mean, let's be realistic. Of course, to make things sustainable, at some point we have to make it profitable for us. But no one makes a sale overnight. It's a matter of like building your portfolio, getting your work out there, and one of the best, if not the best, in the Philippines has had this advice from me from the very start, which is Quicks. We were just coming from the success of ToyCon, and we were talking about it and like reminiscing like how things just blew up, and like I was so proud of it. I'm so happy how things turned out for ToyCon, and he did tell me like, yeah, I mean, all of this is not pure luck. This is not overnight. It's him working days and nights, putting the work in for the past 5 years, and in the same way that I'm working my freelance day job, he has his design studio, which is Burn Water, and then eventually things will come up. It just kept on doing the grind. So take it from me, someone who has attended all these different conventions that I've mentioned earlier, and for every single freaking time to date, I only sell just freaking one piece every time, and I could be demoralized and demotivated all I can. I have all the reason to be honest. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not always about making a sale. It's about making friends.
Yeah.
It's about making connections. It's about making opportunities and creating opportunities. If you can't find an opportunity for yourself, then maybe find an opportunity for someone else with what you have. That's how Shin's toys ended up being in my luggage and now on the way to Cebu.
Yeah.
It's because that's so. Some might find it overly optimistic, but to me, it's really just finding the silver lining, because there's no point really in like lingering in something that's negative by making. Instead of looking at it, I just made one sale out of the 15 pieces that I brought. But rather like, I did make one.
I was in a position for all the overseas convention also.
Yeah, exactly. But like, instead of like saying to yourself like, I just sold one, instead of selling, I could have sold 15. But instead, think of it as like, I did sell one instead of nothing. So at least I made an impact to that one person.
Yeah.
And then that one person might be having other friends who are interested. Will we see it? And then maybe second time around, third time around, we don't know. But we just have to put the work in, really. There's no easy way. There's no shortcut. Whatever thing it is, even selling drugs, just kidding. No, this cut. No, point being like everything you have in everything that you do, you have to put the work in.
Yeah, I mean
There's no
things
easy
happen for a reason. You just have to do it and start working on it. Eventually, things will come, result will come. Like when the good times come, right? You start to think back like all the bad times back then is all worth it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
right now, all of us we still riding the suffering part. But the good times will come, and then after that it will be all good.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, after sharing so much of your personal experience and also things are quite similar with us, what we face. And can you share with us like how's the industry in Philippines, like especially since you're collecting time and until recently?
So yeah, it's a very, I guess it's a unique journey for me, coming from collecting and then joining that contest and then putting it on the table, trying to build a community, and then finding that space made me finally give it a go and design toys, and overall still continuing that effort to build the community at large. So seeing the overall landscape, excuse me, seeing the overall landscape, I feel like in Manila at least it's massive. There's so many artists, and quite recently organizing the after party again for ToyCon. It was nice to meet new artists, and these are very young artists. So I would say that, and even in Cebu, I am still meeting a lot of newer artists. In fact, I have like 4 interns working for me now that I didn't really expect, but they were all interested in
Making art
like
toys.
making their own art toys, and I guess learning different facets of it, not just the creating part but like the brand image and marketing and community building, organizing, and all these things put together. So for Manila, I feel like it will move on its own currently, because there are a lot of different stakeholders to it. Quicks being the strongest one, who is still active and still putting out great work, and a lot of people will be continuously be inspired by his work and other artists' work as well. But for the rest of the Philippines, like Vismin, for Visayas or Cebu in particular, rather, I could only see it growing. It's just that, and I've mentioned this in previous interviews as well, there are certain things that need to be pushed further. Like on the retail side, yes, I do have the store, and but in terms of like an event, which is one of the things that I'm working on, that's something that is bound to happen down the line. But I guess more than that, if the interest is there, which it is, the artists will have to find a way to made their work in put their work into production.
Yes.
So I guess that's one of the things that I am looking forward to see grow the way I did see it in Manila, where at first there were only a few people who are offering their casting services and creating molds. Some are studious enough to study and do it on their own. Kudos to them.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're an artist trying to seek help from another artist, at the end of the day, they're artists themselves and would most definitely put their own work at the forefront first.
Yeah, priority on that.
So as much as they could help you out and execute in your vision, at the end of the day, they have their own things to do as well. So
Yes.
at best, there has to be a growth in other stakeholders wherein we would have help in production. So there are a few. To name a few, there's Fab Lab in UP Cebu, where they can do their prototyping, 3D printing, and then there's also Cebu Making Space.
Okay.
So Cebu Making Space has some different facilities such as 3D printing, fabrication, woodworking, etc. So if you do not have the tools or the space to do the dirty work, at least these types of spaces could give you access to these equipment without having to own them. So at least you only pay a fraction of the cost to use them. But at the same time, it makes the whole production cost attainable for you. And then there's also Maker Lab, who's already there's already a one based in Cebu, wherein I'm not exactly sure if you could ask them to do a 3D service, but at least someone will be there to give you knowledge and what printer to use, what type of filament, and all these, etc. And of course, there's a lot of different workshops going around. So I could only see this growing, wherein down the line, when people see the business opportunity that there are certain artists that seek this kind of third-party service, then maybe some of the businesses will actually consider diving into this as something of a new market opportunity. Because if there's some of you who do not know, Cebu is actually what do you call this?
Famous for mango.
That's one. But the furniture industry is very big in Cebu, and I mentioned this to say that the industry is very much capable of cater to this kind of subculture. It's just that these establishments haven't realized it yet that they can cater to this market. So I have tried it once with one company, and I must say that indeed they are not aware of this subculture, this community, and I could also say that they can execute. It's just a matter of I guess us artists putting the word out, or them putting the effort to reach out to artists that, hey, if you guys need this type of service, so you can actually reach out to us. We could make a mold for you. We could do 3D modeling, 3D printing, and molding, casting, up to the finishing details of painting it and packaging. And then there's one new studio that popped up, which is Studios HQ, whom have recently produced toys for certain street artists in Cebu. They're actually popping up in my store this weekend. So these are the artists I was telling you earlier who are going to go to the store. So as it is, from when I arrived to Cebu forward to this day, it has already grown so much, and I could only see it growing much more in terms of like the artists, the stakeholders who would help the artists out, and most definitely the collectors.
Yes.
But that's just Cebu alone. I've received an invitation in Davao, which is one of the major cities in the Mindanao area. So there's this collector who has organized a big pop culture event. They're on their fourth year, I think. Unfortunately, last year they did reach out to me, but it was a little bit too late for me to accommodate and schedule everything. So I told them, as much as I would want to go, the best that I could do is help promote them. So fast forward to this year, they were very early and letting me know, like, okay, since this is something, so this is August. This is coming August.
Oh, okay.
So I am looking forward to having an open call to all the artists who are willing to come over to Davao, and the organizers are kind enough to offer us free booths to actually to be in their event. So having these events give opportunities and platform to artists like us. I could only see it to be a growing interest in that area, and then hopefully grow in the same way Cebu has grown from the past year alone, and eventually bloom into how flourished and how successful it already is, and is still growing in Manila, and beyond that. Like, some of us are already starting to explore opportunities outside Manila. That's why we're here now in Malaysia today. So apart from the growth, I feel like there are certain things though to watch out for in terms of artists making their work. So I guess if I could put a word of advice out there is that research is always important.
Yes.
It's always important to understand the why in the things that we do, the why in the things that our idols do, not just how they look or emulate or copy what we see and what we feel is trending or profitable. Because at the end of the day, guys, this is art. As much as it is retailed in the form of toys, it is still an artist's work in the form of a toy. So if you're out to just, try to make a profit out of it, no harm in that. It's just that, I feel like it's not gonna be substantial for you in the long run.
Exactly.
So word of advice, like try to research and try to understand what you really want to put out there, and at the same time, be mindful of what you're doing in your community, just so that you're not stepping on anyone's feet. And at the same time, you're not moving on your own, in the sense that this is not a contest. This is art at large. No one wins a big fat check in the end. No one wins a trophy. There's no championship to this. So what I'm trying to say is, if one cheers for the other, then we all win in this. We all win. So I guess that's what I essentially want to drive to with all this community building and all these efforts. And as it is, it's still growing, so it can only get better from where it is now currently.
It's moving towards the right direction.
Correct.
And everything slowly come together, like for our side, and for the Philippine side also, we can see, like, especially with internet now, we can exchange information and exchange all these ideas together, and then do something together. Abroad.
It's always happy that we see, like, we as Malaysian, we also very close with Philippines, Indonesia, and also
Singapore,
Thailand as well.
Be Thailand side, maybe language is a barrier, but still, when we see each other, right, there's still that connection. Even just simple hi, bye, hello, we still manage to have a short conversation on the stuff. So I mean, Southeast Asia is just like that. So
we have to work together.
Correct.
Okay, I think this is a very, very insightful, and I think definitely it's the longest episode we have.
And then
we are reaching the 2-hour mark soon.
Did you expect it to be any shorter? To be honest,
I was hoping 3 hours, but
you want us to make it 3 hours?
You're gonna do a director cut?
Okay, we can get spicy if you want. Just kidding.
But I mean, this one is like we are doing this right after the convention. One day, like, people is like thinking like, oh, tomorrow is going to be my off day, after this 3 days convention, I'm going to rest. But like last night, I straight text Guibs and Clarice like, tomorrow 8:30 we breakfast, then we go here and do podcasts. No rest.
Lunch provided.
and we are here to finish up. It's the first time also we do back-to-back episode in one day.
And also it's kind of good to have you, like, normally we would just like ask like a toy designer, which he only like focus on his stuff. But less like
you are more overall covering the entire toy scene, because everyone is interested. Like others will always ask us what is the toy scene like in Malaysia. So for us also same, we want to know more about other countries as well. Of course, we attended in person last year to see in person, but that is just 3 days.
Yeah, correct.
But you are there for years to know.
To see the changes, things like that.
Yeah, correct. So it's good to have you share us your experience and what you see and what you observe for this whole thing. So thank you, Guibs, once again for being here with us.
Thank you for having me as well.
we don't let him go to any tourist spot during his extra day in KL.
we help him to save money.
We went to Petronas after day 2, right?
Yeah,
So,
their energy is crazy. We had dinner. After dinner, we Malaysia all go back sleep. I was on my bed and then I saw my Facebook like scrolling through. Oh, they are in Twin Tower. Okay, good, cool.
And then yesterday they kind of like chit chat until like early in the morning.
yeah, I won't say what time, but yeah, we did.
Yeah. So yes,
Let's just say that was the warm up for this podcast. We had our own private podcast.
Crazy.
Anyway,
so
yeah.
for Guibs also this time he brought some gift for the viewers.
Yeah, I also have some stickers.
Yeah,
so-
some stickers and some prints of his character. These are the Kantoys, right?
Mhm.
Kantoy, yeah.
So again, I think later you need to sign on all this or draw something to make it exclusive.
Okay.
Then we will sell it. No. Okay. Then we will do a giveaway.
Please wire me my dividends.
So again, comment. Just keep commenting, share, like, subscribe.
Yeah, let's say what you learned from this podcast.
Yeah, if you feel like crying, let us know you cried when you heard.
We almost cried. We almost cried.
Let us know if you sell more than one piece in
Yeah.
convention.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you very much. We will do the giveaway also in this episode. Then just comment. We will choose the winner after this. So thank you once again, Guibs, for being
Thank you.
here with us.
Thank you,
And
Michael.
hopefully,
And,
when the whole thing happened in Cebu, then we will get to be in there in person.
Yep.
And of course, for those who are interested in our magazine, it will be available at Guibs Store.
Yep.
Neue, right?
Yeah,
Actually,
Neue.
Neue. Okay.
Neue Design Store,
No.
not everyone's usual essentials.
Yeah, that is the full name of the shop. It's just not a random initial for the
yeah.
So,
Okay, not bad.
so this is if you happen to be in Cebu, drop by, visit, and listen to him talk about anything in the store.
Correct. If you're
Right.
interested to order the magazine either way, and
Yeah.
if you're not in Cebu, feel free to drop me a message on Instagram, and I'd be more than happy to ship it to you wherever you are in the Philippines.
Yeah, Guibs already helped us to cover the whole Philippines, so look for him if you want the magazines. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's all for this episode.
Right.
Thank you once again.
Thank you, Edward and Michael, for having me here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a-
Remember,
it's a joy.
like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, I need to sleep now.
Peace out.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.